Good evening YouTube, it's Toon Fabricator here, and we've got another video tonight. This is going to be the video that follows on from 2D Fidget Spinner. Tonight's video I'm going to be developing a 2D Fidget Spinner into 3D. I'm going to be giving it a little bit more of a realistic look later on. I might stick a different camera view in there. I'll give it some texture, I'll render it, and tonight's video should be a little bit more fun than the 2D one, but it's basically just going through the basic concept and the stages of any design really, where you've got to design it first in 2D, then you take it to the 3D level, and then so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm just going to dive straight in. So as you can see, this object here is going to be the object that was from the first part of the video. And what we're going to do is we're going to select these items up here. We're going to copy them over there. Now we're going to select these items here. We're going to delete them. We're going to select these items here, and we're just going to move them over here. This item here, we're going to copy it. We'll use a center point, and we're going to put the one in there. Now, as just seen, I didn't just copy it from the center point and go straight through there. That's for a reason. I went right the way around there. Reason being is if I go in through there, there's no center point and a circle appears. If I go around and hit the arc of the circle, the center point, there you go, appears. So to get them to appear, you've got to come in from the edges of the circle. That was just a quick one there. Right click, left click, enter. So first what I'm going to do, I'm going to extrude these. And we'll give that maybe an extrusion height of 8. And I think I'll go ahead and extrude this item here. Give it a similar height. I'll give it 8. And enter. And wire on. We'll extrude these as well. To be honest, I should have just done them all at the same time, but there you go. 8 and enter. Now what I'm going to do is go into realistic. In fact, no I'm not. I'll go back to 2D wireframe. Now I'm going to use this function here. This is solid subtract. Okay. Left click. I'm going to select this outside object here. Left click, right click. I'm going to select this inner object. Left click, right click. Now see what happens when I go to realistic. There you go. It takes the center out. Solid subtract. I'll do the same again. I'm going to solid subtract. I want to keep this item here, so I keep the outside item by pressing left click, selecting, right click. I'm going to select this bit here because this is a bit that I want to get rid of. Left click on it, then right click, and again we'll just go into realistic, and there you have it. Back to 2D. I'm going to do the same with this object here. Go back to it. We want to keep the fidget spinner, so I'm left clicking it, right click. Now I want to make these holes, left click, left click, left click, left click, and I'll right click that. I'll go into realistic and you'll be able to see what I mean. So there you go, you've got the basic objects there. I'm going to go back in the 2D wireframe. I like to work in 2D wireframe, it just makes things a lot easier. Now I'm now going to select this item here. I want to move it. Select the move. I get my center point. I want to move it to the middle of there. And it snaps into place. Bear in mind, you've got to have all your object snap settings on. Okay, so if nothing's snapping in place, you need to go down here, go to object snap settings, and make sure in the snapping grid that is on, and I like to have the polar snaps selected. Again, when you're working 3D, make sure your 3D snap is on, object snap, so on and so forth. So it's really important. I think I covered this in my first video, that you've got all those object snaps in place. So we're going to select this item here, and I want to put that into place. So select that, I'll zoom in a little bit, center point there. Actually, I'll go back, I should have copied that to be fair. Start again, copy function. Try that again, because I'm not too sure if I actually grabbed the center of that. Apologies, YouTube. That's better. And notice that I'm waiting a little while for that little green circle to appear, and that's just saying that I've caught the object snap in the middle. There you go, little green circle. Now I'll go back into realistic, and there you go. Right, so now what I'm going to do is go back into 2D. I'm now going to change layers, and remember we set the layers up in part 1 of this video. I'm now going to do a line from there to the center, right click, left click, go to repeat line, do the same again. Probably thinking, why is he doing this? But all will become apparent shortly. Now what I want to do is, I need the bit where you actually grab the fidget spinner, you hold between your index finger and your thumb. I'm going to develop that bit now. And this bit here, again we're doing this in part 1, is going to be that we're going to develop. So we'll select this item, we'll go to this drop down here, and we'll go to revolve. We're going to select that there and that there, and that's going to be the axis point. I'm going to type in 360. Bang. Dead easy. This item here, I'm going to change back into layer 0 because I want it the same colour as this. Bear in mind I've got these lines here. These lines are going to be my reference lines. There's different ways you can actually do it, but me personally, I prefer just to create my own little reference lines. You could do it with this button here, which is going to be the 3D align button, but I just personally find it easier to use my own reference lines. And bearing in mind these are a different colour to this, just so that I don't get confused, because I do get easily confused. Now what we're going to do is copy that. In fact, no, I'll do another reference line while I'm on, and we'll make the reference line. We'll just get that snap. Remember, have your snappings in place. Lovely jubbly. Now I'm going to duplicate that, or copy it, sorry. Just copy button. Actually, I'm going to go to top view, make things a little bit easier for myself. In fact, I haven't quite got that one, that reference line. Now if you go to top view, you can see my reference line actually sticks out a little bit. That should be flat, so I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to try that again. So I'll delete it again, select a line. Yes, it's a little bit slow paced, but these are the problems that you do come up against when you use CAD. So that'll do. And we'll go on the top. There. That line is now nice and flat. Great. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is copy. Doesn't matter where. That there. Escape. Now I'd like to rotate them. So I'm going to select that object there. I'm going to select the 3D rotate command, left click. Now I want to select the green plane. I'm going to type in 90, and that has rotated it correctly. I'm going to do the same with this object here. Focus. We'll go from the top. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move it a little bit further away. I'm going to show that to there. That'll do. I'm going to go to 3D rotate, specify base point, doesn't really matter. Sorry, I'll go into the southwest view there. Give that another go. That's better. 3D rotate. So I rotated this one 90 degrees. So I need to rotate this one 270 degrees. So there you go. As you can see, if I just go into the realistic view, this one is going to go on the bottom of my fidget spinner, and this one is going to go onto the top of my fidget spinner. Because there is a flat area, if I rotate it, it will be slightly convex underneath there. And obviously this one's convex on the top and flat underneath. So to facilitate getting them put into place, I'll just jump straight back into 2D wireframe, select the whole thing, and I'm going to move this onto the top. I'm going to locate the end of the first reference line I made, and I get a snap, probably a square, and when it turns to a square, that means I'm in place. I'll do the same with this. I'm going to move it. I'm going to select the end of that red line. I'm going to put this on the bottom of that red line, and when I see a square, it's in place. Great, that's fantastic. Worked out lovely. I'm now going to get rid of these lines. Delete. And delete. What I'm now going to do is go into realistic, and there we'll have a fidget spinner. Great. Now, to be honest, it doesn't look that real, so I want to make it look a little bit more realistic. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start adding fillets. So I'll select the fillet, I'll set the radius, and I'll maybe give that a 2, enter. I'll enter again, and what I'm going to do is just go around all the edges. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, just bear with us. I've selected all those edges, and I'll give it a right click, and they should change. Enter, and there you go. I'm going to do underneath. Actually, while I'm on, I'm going to take the grid off. It's getting in my way a little bit. If you haven't got a 2017 version of Autocad, all you do is type G, or grid will come up and just switch it off. The on-off options will come on down here, and you just select off. With 2017, you've actually got the little command there, and that's gone. Okay, so I'll do the same again. second fillet up there. Remember, my radius has already been set by myself. Enter, and I can go around the rest of the edges. That's it. One more. Right click, enter. Lovely. I want to give these edges a radius now. So I'm going to select again. Now I want that to have a smaller edge radius, so I'll put maybe 0.5. Let's see it. That'll do. And I'll press enter. It'll have to be a 1, and we won't give us a 0.5, so I'll do that once more. Bear with me. 1. That's better. That's great. Right click. And there you go. That looks nice. See how it's starting to take a little bit more shape now? I'll do the same again. I'll select this object. Right click, enter. And there you go. It's starting to look a little bit more realistic. I think you'd probably agree. I'm not going to go into too much detail. If I want to go into a little bit more detail, what I will be doing is putting the ball bearings in the run around here. I'll develop the run a little bit more. That'll be pretty much out of the scope of this video, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just giving you a good idea of what the Autocad is actually capable of. Now what I'm going to do is make it a little bit more realistic. I'll put in a context, so I'll plan surf. I'll select up here. And I'll give it the side view. I'll drop that down a little bit. I'm going to press move. Sorry, I'll do that again. And select this plane. That'll do. I'm going to go back to the home button there to give us that view. Now what I want this to be is slightly different colour. I'm going to type in RMAT. This will open the material browser. And I can start adding colour to my fidget spinner. So I'll click on this drop down. I'll go to, say, plastic. I want to give this spinner a little bit colour, make it look nice. So I'm going to select that, select that. I'll select that bottom bit as well, if I can just get in there. Lovely jubbly. And I'll give it LED green, and to make it green I'll hover over the colour I want it. I'll right click and I'll left click assign to selection. Remember, this has already all been selected. Assign to selection. Left click on there and it's turned green. Pretty good. Again, I think I want these bits to be metal, so I'll select metal. I'm going to select them all. And let's have a look. Aluminium polish. I mean, what sort of colour are we going to make it? I don't know. Polished aluminium. Right click, assign to selection. And there you go. Polished aluminium. Right. I think ourselves going to give a different camera view. So what I'm going to do is, first I'll go to the top, right click and I'll parallel it so it's nice and straight. I'm going to type in cam for camera, left click on camera, and I'll place it over here onto my fidget. Enter. Now what I'm going to do, go to home, I'm going to select the camera, and I can just mess about a little bit with that. There you go, you can move it up and down, and you can just mess about with it. It's not quite where I want it to be, so I'll take camera again. I'll place it here. Better. And there, that's a little bit better. Yeah, that'll do. So now I'm going to go into visualize. I think I'll give myself some shadows. And as you can see, the ground shadows came on there. You can turn your sun status on and off. You can mess about a little bit with that. I'm not going to go into that in this video. Now I think I'll go and have a look and see what my camera view looks like. So custom view, custom model views, and there you go. You've created a camera 1, and there you go. Looks pretty good. So I'm happy with that. I'll press the teapot button to render it, and it'll give you a photographic image of what it's going to look like. And there you go. Again, you can mess about with lights just to highlight the area and stuff, just to make it look a little bit more realistic. But again, this is just a basic video. And there you go. It's looking pretty good. Obviously, you can zoom your camera in and out. It doesn't have to be a camera view. You can just zoom out like that from any view you want. And if you want this whole image to be rendered like that, that's great. Because you can custom view, we'll press render. There you go. And what the camera does is it just gives you a more of a customized view from where you want it to be. I think I'll probably, in case you actually wanted to have ball bearings of your own, you want to go into a little bit more depth, I'll just give you a brief idea of how to go about that. So I'll just create a circle, and I'll just change the layers over. It's better. Just double check. Now what I'm going to do is type in SPH for sphere. I'll put my first sphere there. It's going to be my first ball bearing. What you don't have to do is go around that circle and add the spheres individually. All you would simply do is go to polar array, select this object, right click, and you want to locate the center of your array, which will be here. If your snaps are on, bang, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items. If you want to add more ball bearings, delete it. There, more ball bearings. You probably think to yourself, well, that doesn't look like any ball bearings to me. What you would do is go to realistic, and there you go. You've got your run of ball bearings. And to get these ball bearings into there, you just convert back in a 2D wireframe. You would locate a center point, and you just copy these ball bearings into these runs around here. So I think that's probably it for tonight's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's the second part of the Fidget Spinner series, so you're going to be 2 parts. I'm just trying to think of any other interesting videos, topical videos I would make. I think I've got 1 or 2 in mind. So anyway, if you like the video, leave your comments down below. Remember to hit like, and please do subscribe. Thanks for watching. That's a Toon Fabricator out.